I made this keyboard shortcut layout in 2005. I had been an editor for several years before that in tape-to-tape rooms, and when I first started using Final Cut, I saw the keyboard shortcuts were all over the place. They didn't make any sense. So I made this layout, and you'll notice they're all on the left-hand side. That's so your left hand can rest right on the home row here, and your right hand never has to come off the mouse. And this is really geared for people who know how to type, and if you're going to be an editor, you really should know how to type, and if you don't know how to type, I really recommend that you learn. Once you don't have to think about what you're doing with the interface, and your fingers can just fly over it without you having to look down and see what you're doing, you'll have a better creative process. The first thing I'm going to do is show you where to put the keyboard shortcut file that you've downloaded. And there are instructions on where to download the file. There's also instructions where to download these images, plus the list version of the shortcuts. Premiere doesn't really have a quick and easy way to import keyboard shortcuts like Final Cut and Avid and DaVinci Resolve do. You have to put the shortcut file into the right folder. And the easiest way to find what folder to put it into on your computer is to create a keyboard shortcut. Go to Keyboard Shortcuts. It should just default to Adobe Premiere Pro default, but save something under a name that you can search for, something unique. I'm going to choose Snoit. All right, so now I'm going to search for Snoit. And since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to use Spotlight, Command Spacebar, search for Snoit. There it is. Show all in Finder. Select that, and now you can see the pathway, and that's the folder where the keyboard shortcuts live. So what I'm going to do is copy this from here and put it into there. All right, so now I can go back to Premiere and go to Keyboard Shortcuts and select Dave's Keyboard Shortcuts. Now this should look similar to the image that you can download, except for all these on the right-hand side. And the beauty is, you don't need those really. You could ignore just about every one of these, because everything you need to know and everything you need to use is over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is quickly go over each one of these. You'll see that it's really simple and the layout is really intuitive. Okay, add marker. This is a quick way of leaving a little note on a clip or on the timeline. It can be used for logging footage. These are quick ways of increasing and lowering the volume 1 dB. And copy and paste, just the same as Command-C, Command-V, or Control-C, Control-V. And it's just easier to have them up here. And if you switch between a Mac and a PC, you don't have to switch between hitting Control-C or Command-C. It's always going to be the same. And paste attributes. After you hit copy on a clip, you can hit paste attributes, and you can paste one or all of the attributes of that clip onto another clip. So that can be size, rotation, volume, the color correction. Cue, overwrite. This will be the main key you use to make an edit, to drop the footage down from the source window into the timeline. Ripple delete. This will get rid of footage between an in and an out point on the timeline and then close up that gap that you make. Go to Previous and go to Next Edit are quick ways of navigating through a timeline. In fact, those are the keys I'm hitting right now. I'm hitting E and R to quickly go between clips. These clips right here. Zoom to sequence fits all the clips on your timeline in your timeline window so you can see everything. Mark clip is a quick way of putting an in point and an out point on a clip. Mark in and mark out puts a mark in and mark out on your source clip or on the timeline. Step back and forward one frame. Just go one frame at a time, either on your source clip or on your timeline. G, match frame. It'll bring up whatever clip is on your timeline into the source window onto the same frame that you're resting on. And that'll all make sense when I show you this in practice. Reveal and project will reveal whatever clip that your playhead is sitting on in the timeline amongst all the clips you have in your media pool. And Z selection tool, this is a way of getting back to this arrow selection tool. So if you're on a trim tool or something like a razor blade tool, hitting Z gets you back to this arrow. Shuttle left and shuttle right are your transport keys. If you hit X once, you'll go backwards at normal speed. If you hit it again, you'll go faster. Hit it again, you'll go faster backwards. And same with C. You hit it once, you'll go forwards regular speed. Hit it again, even faster. Hit it again, even faster. And I should mention that spacebar is always play on every NLE. It's just the way the universe is created. That's the way it always will be. Hit spacebar once is play, hit it again is stop. V, rolling edit tool, is one of the trim tools. And B, add edit. This will split a clip. It's the same as selecting the razor blade tool and clicking on a clip, except this does it with just one press of a key. You put the playhead where you want to make an edit and hit B. And N turns snapping on and off. Now these are the shift version of the keys, and I'm going to alternate back and forth between the lower and uppercase so you can kind of see how these are intuitively laid out. Okay, so the accent mark is add marker, shift is clear selected marker, shift 1 and 2 goes to previous marker or goes to the next marker, 3 and 4 copy paste, shift 3 and 4 undo and redo. And this is just like command Z or control Z, except they're up here. Q, overwrite, the main way of making an edit, and shift Q, insert, another way of making an edit. W, ripple delete, clears between in and out and closes the hole. Shift W, clear, clears between an in and an out, but leaves the hole there. E and R go to previous and go to next edit. Shift E, Shift R, zoom in, zoom out of the timeline. And Shift T is clear in and out. Shift Y is how you change the speed of a clip if you want it to go fast motion or slow motion. A, mark in, Shift A, clear mark in. S, back 1 frame, Shift S, go to the in. D, step forward 1 frame, Shift D, go to the out. F, mark out, Shift F, clear mark out. And G, match frame, Shift G, reverse match frame. X, shuttle left, Shift X, track selection back tool. So if you click on Shift X and you get the track selection back tool, anywhere you click on the timeline, it'll select all the clips from that point backwards. C, shuttle right, Shift C, track select forwards. That tool does the same thing, but selects all the clips forward from where you click. V, rolling edit tool, Shift V, slip tool. These are 2 trim tools. And Shift B, render in to out. This will render between an in and an out point. And Shift N is add frame hold. This is how you create a freeze frame.